Welcome to the Arrington Gavin Show. Real talk, big opinions, and fearless conversations. From the front lines of politics to the latest in pop culture. From breaking sports headlines to the stories that move the world. Nothing's off limits, and nobody's holding back. Arrington Gavin is here to break it down, build it up, and keep it all the way real. So turn it up, lean in, and let's get into it. This is the Arrington Gavin Show.
Hey, what's happening, y'all? Welcome to the Arrington Gavin Show, your go-to spot for sharp insights, bold opinions, and unfiltered takes on the biggest stories of the day, whether it's politics, sports, pop culture, or the latest buzz. Look, we're diving deep and keeping it real. So do me a favor, kick back, stay informed, and get ready to join the conversation. Look, on today's conversation, we're going to continue on more stories post-election night. So much stuff had when, as you know, the Democrats had a huge win in the recent elections on November 4th. Big wins in the state of Virginia, big wins in New Jersey, big wins for New York City, as well as a big win in California. It's funny because there's individuals that are saying, "Hey, look, they're blue states. That's what we knew this was going to happen. No shocker whatsoever. Yada yada yada." And to some source, that is some truth to it. But at the end of the day, I think it wakes up and shares more than just it being a blue state and acting like this wasn't going to happen. Because I can speak for the state of Virginia, my home state. I never considered Virginia a blue state. Now, previously we were ran by a Republican governor, Republican lieutenant governor, and Republican attorney general. Now the House and the Senate was majority Democrat. Now folks have said, "Hey, look, we're purple, we're not blue." Now in this go round, it is a blue. It has turned blue. Blue wave. 61 seats won in the state house. Okay, 61. They flipped 13 seats. Prior they had 51, I believe. So they had the majority, but it was 51 seats. Now they added some more by flipping seats. Attorney general, lieutenant governor, and the governor, all Democrats. So they had a huge win in the state of Virginia. New Jersey received a big win. New York City received a big win. Obviously, a split up between the moderates and the progressives, but life goes on. Okay, life goes on. But I tell you, for one person, it has not moved on is the current mayor, Eric Adams. I tell you, he's just what a downfall career. I tell you. Later on, also, we're going to talk about Megyn Kelly, conservative talk show host. She has been Megyn. To me, is just she finds her lane, and whatever lane is profitable for her, she keeps at it, regardless of how it puts her as a credible, I guess you can consider her a journalist per se. She started off as a journalist. Now she's just always picking fights with everybody, not making any sense. She's now trolling Michelle Obama, who's been minding her business since her and her husband Barack Obama left out of the White House. They've been minding their business, but hey, everybody just can't stand to see Black excellence at its finest. And so we're going to talk about that. And also in the sports world, former NFL quarterback Mark Sanchez was recently fired from Fox Sports. As you all know, he was arrested for I think it was like assault charges. It was just an interesting case. There was a surveillance camera that had showed him running with a what do you call it? He was stabbed in the stomach, and he was stabbed, close around that stomach, the abdominal area, and it was a self-defense. So he was the one that was beating an individual that had to go to the verge of stabbing him in order to save his life. And so now we see the results of what's happening with Mark Sanchez. And if he's getting fired, again, there has not been a verdict. This is an ongoing case, but he's fired. So it's not looking too good in Mark Sanchez's favor. Speaking of cases, Abby Zorner. If y'all don't remember that name, look it up. She was the elementary school teacher who was shot by one of her students, a 6-year-old, in Newport News, Virginia. She recently just won her big case. To me, I feel like she deserves a lot more, but it was still a win for her. So we'll talk about that later on in the show. As always, my friends, thank you so much for taking 1 hour of your time to tune into the Arrington Gavin Show. You can be doing so many other things with your precious time. So I just truly appreciate that you are sticking with us. For those who are watching us on YouTube, do me a favor, like, subscribe, share with a friend, share with family. We want to continue on the we want to continue that momentum. We want to continue the growth with our subscribers as well as our viewership numbers, which we're witnessing that each and every day. So again, I thank you. All I'm here to do is, again, have a great conversation with you all. We laugh, we cry, we learn something. That's the kind of conversation you're going to get here. I'm bridging the gap between having an understanding of what's going on in in the federal government level, state government, as well as local government, and I just keep you up to speed of what's happening in the world of pop culture and just our everyday news. So that's what you're gonna get here on the Arrington Gavin Show. YouTube, you can watch us on. You can also check out past episodes of the Arrington Gavin Show by downloading the Goatverse TV app. We're available on Goatverse TV. Download the app on the App Store, Google Play Store, Roku, as well as Amazon Fire TV. And then you can also listen to us on the go. All right. You can listen to us on the go wherever you listen to your podcasts. And then lastly, you can also listen to the Arrington Gavin Show on the radio airwaves, whether we're in New Orleans by way of WBOK 1230 AM, what New Orleans is talking about, or WDJY 99.1 FM straight talk in the Metro Atlanta area. WBOK, you can tune into the Arrington Gavin Show weeknights at 7 p.m. Central Time, Monday through Fridays. WDJY 99.1 FM straight talk, you can tune into the Arrington Gavin Show weeknights at 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then lastly, Afro Vibes Radio in Houston, Texas, Saturdays at 12 p.m. Central Time. All righty. Before we head to a commercial break, I love to do our favorite segment here. Well, might not be yours, but it's my favorite segment. It's mine. I like it. So what is this role and why is it important? So the role today that we are going to learn is the Attorney General's role. Now, this is state government, the Attorney General's role. The Attorney General's role is the chief, and I do mean the chief legal officer of the state. It represents the state in legal matters and prosecutes violations of state law. So, for example, in the recent Attorney General race in my home state of Virginia, Jay Jones, Lord, I was blanking on his name. Jay Jones. He won the Attorney General's race. That was really a shocker to some, but to his supporters, it wasn't a shock because they knew his resume, they knew his background, they knew what he was advocating for and what his platform was. So to some, it wasn't a shocker. I will say for me, it was on the fences for me because, as you know about the tech scandal, brought a lot of hesitation on supporting him, even from his own party. So anyway, fast forward to all that. He won his race. He's the first African-American elected as Attorney General for the state of Virginia. Congrats to Attorney General-elect Jay Jones. My friends, don't go anywhere. You're listening to the Arrington Gavin Show. We're going to take a quick commercial break. We'll be right back after these commercial breaks.
What's up, y'all? Welcome now.
And we still in traffic.
Don't look familiar, do I? Not in this seat.
Hey, what's that you listening to?
Here to host today.
Hey, turn it up.
With me?
Yeah, that's that new Goatverse app. I got you.
So y'all want to know where the goats are? They're off on the sidelines.
Looking for fresh, relevant content wherever you go?
What was the name of that he said?
Introducing Goatverse TV.
Goatverse, that's what it's called.
The free streaming app that brings you the best podcasts, current events, and thought-provoking opinions all in one place. Download it now from the Apple Store or Play Store. In GOATs, we trust.
Every man has a story to tell. Your ambitions, your achievements, your legacy. Your suit should reflect that story, crafted precisely, designed for impact, and tailored exclusively for you. We work with only the finest fabrics, luxurious wools, silk, linen, and blends from world-renowned mills in Italy, the UK, and India. These fabrics are the foundation of custom suits that exude elegance and stand the test of time. But a suit isn't just about fabric, it's about fit, and it's about confidence, and it all starts with you. When you work with me, you'll receive a personalized consultation, whether in person or over Zoom. Together, we'll explore your vision and discuss your needs, and we're gonna bring your ideas to life. My journey as a designer includes apprenticing under New York-based designer Clavon Leonard, showcasing collections at New York Fashion Week, Algeria Fashion Week, and the prestigious Baltimore Met Gala. That experience is what we bring to every suit we create, from weddings to corporate events and everything in between. We specialize in crafting one-of-a-kind suits for life's most significant moments. Dapper Luke has been recognized as one of Baltimore's best menswear in 2023, and I was honored to be one of the 10 designers selected for the prestigious Baltimore Met Gala. With over 900 satisfied clients, we proudly serve Virginia Beach and Baltimore, bringing world-class designs to these incredible communities. We don't just make suits, we craft confidence. Your suit will fit your body, your style, and it will tell your story. Book your free online personal consultation today. Visit www.dapperluke.com.
You know, just like a winning team evolves throughout the season, so does your beard. I'm Arrington Gavin, proud CEO of Rugged Evolution Beard Care. With our premium oils, balms, and grooming tools, it's everything you need to level up your beard game. Whether you're a seasoned pro or a rookie, Rugged Evolution is the new smooth. Order now and dominate the beard game like never before. Rugged Evolution Beard Care, because every beard deserves to be legendary.
What's happening, y'all? Welcome back to the Arrington Gavin Show. I'm your host, your friend Arrington Gavin. Look, before we get started, I just want to play this soundbite for you before we get started.
That you're going to see many people from the Adams administration stay, including the police commissioner. Did you mean that? Did you misspeak? Or do you know that she's going to stay?
No, I don't make the determination on who is going to be part of the next mayor's administration. He stated at his debate that he was open to keeping the police commissioner. So I'm not misspeaking. He spoke, and that was what he stated. So if he makes that determination, it's a smart move. But mayors pick their team and their staff to execute their policies, and he'll make the determination who he wants on his team. But I believe a lot of my team members will still be there because they have the experience.
So are you saying that you think the commissioner is going to stay?
Brother, I don't know how many times I can say the same thing over and over
you're
again.
saying that he wants her to stay. I'm asking.
Ask Zoran that question. I'm no longer the mayor on the 31st. You keep asking me the same question. You do that often when I'm on your show.
Well, I'm asking you the question that you
ask Zoran.
You said he wants her to stay, and you said we will see members of your administration stay, including her. So if you're saying that you're going to see her stay, that means I'm asking, do you know that she's going to stay? That's all. I'm just trying to get clarification when you're saying one thing, but then you're coming back and saying, well, he's saying that, which he did. I'm asking, do you know if she is going to stay? That's all I'm asking.
Xana, do you have a question for me? Because I can't play this game with him.
Well, it's not a game. You're the one that said it. No,
I answered the question. Do you have a question for me?
I do.
Well, you can play this game if you want as well. I mean, so let's not come on here and pretend.
I'm getting ready to get off your show right now.
All right, wait.
You can have whatever temper tantrum you want.
A question that I answered already.
You did not answer the question.
About his staff.
Yes.
But I'm not going back and forth with you as I typically do when you get on the air. When I'm on the air with others, it's a pleasant conversation. But you're rude, you're disrespectful.
Could I just ask another question? Because Mayor,
no, this is you coming out here, and you have an agenda when you come on the show. All right, so let's face
brother,
that.
Breathe, man. Breathe.
No, I'm breathing. I'm fine.
Take a deep breath. That's why I did meditation, because I know it's coming.
I do meditation every morning, brother, so don't worry about me.
All right, you guys are on the same page.
No, we're on the same page.
You're on the same page.
You said something, and you weren't clear on it, and I asked for a clarification, and then you got defensive about it, then I got defensive. This happens. So I owe you an apology for getting defensive and you getting defensive. So thank you very much for joining us, though. I appreciate it, and good luck to you.
You guys have a great day, and don't define when I get defensive. Define yourself, and I'll define myself.
All right.
I didn't get defensive. I answer your question. Listen, great speaking to you all.
All right, great speaking to you, too.
As, just a citizen.
Try and talk us right off the air. We appreciate you. Thank you very much, Mayor Eric Adams.
Take care.
All right, he's all done here. You said you're going to see.
I mean, that was a lot, right? That was a lot. So to kind of backtrack what you all were just listening to, that was Fox 5 New York, Good Day New York, co-anchor Kurt Menefee, who we all know and love during football Sundays, pregame shows. I think he's on there with Terry Bradshaw, Michael Strahan, Howie Long. Who else is up there? Gronk, I believe, is up there now. And so Kurt, and this is not the first time he's had a back and forth with New York City Mayor Eric Adams. New York City Mayor Eric Adams, obviously, he's not so happy with the outcome. He was running as an income. Well, first, let's just backtrack. Eric Adams was the incumbent. If you're talking about the absolute worst mayoral run, the worst run in politics, it's Eric Adams, because this was a man, I believe he was it was a minute before you had he was, African American guy elected as mayor of New York City. It's been a while since either he was the first. Let me backtrack to see if he is, because I don't want to have my information different for you guys. But let's see. Okay, so he was the second, but he was the second black mayor in New York City history. The very first was David Dickens, and that was in 1990. So it's been a while before, since New York City had an African American mayor. So again, they're looking at him. Oh, former law enforcement guy, respected. Let's see how this goes. Turned out to be a disaster, right? Turned out to be a disaster. His reputation went down the drain. He was accused of bribery. Those charges will end up dropping, but everybody around him was getting, indicted and whatnot, and their careers are over. So it's like he continued to speak his innocence, which, hey, that's what you do. Okay, you don't just say, "Hey, no, I'm guilty." No, you speak your innocence. But he was already disappointed the fact that he was the incumbent, and he was not receiving the endorsement from the Democratic Party, even though he was a Democrat. He was elected as a Democrat. He was a registered Democrat. He announced that he will be running as an independent, not as a Democrat. So he had left the party, ran, and just his numbers he was barely making. I'm pretty sure he was like at last place throughout the whole entire campaign. He ended up dropping, and then he ended up endorsing Andrew Cuomo, a person that he originally called a snake and this and that and the other. So he ended up endorsing Andrew Cuomo. Obviously, the outcome came out differently because Cuomo did not win. Eric Adams is like, okay, this is not a good thing for New York City. Don't F up, yada, yada, yada. So now you see Eric Adams not caring, really. Now, to his defense, he answered the question. He did answer the question to what it sounded like for me. But let's just be honest. Eric Adams just never liked Kurt Menefee, because Kurt was always a true journalist and not the one that kissed the mayor's butt. He was like, no, I'm gonna do my job as a journalist, and I'm gonna press him on this. And he has in the past. Eric Adams was like, I've been on so many shows. It's been a graceful thing, but until I get on to yours, it's always this, that, and the other. And I mean, it's just class act. I mean, obviously, Kurt Menefee was towards the end was like saying, "Hey, look, hey, I did this. I apologize. Forgive me." And I responded and this and the other and kept it moving. But, Eric Adams don't care no more. Eric Adams realized politics was not for him. And it wouldn't surprise me if if he decides to work with another campaign, or if he just says, I'm done with politics and work as a, host a radio show on WABC, because Curtis Sliwa is no longer with them anymore. So what's next, right? What's next? Anyway, let's continue on this. I just felt like throwing that out there because, more on the post elections that had happened is really just intensifying the political climate, right? You're seeing the right they took a huge loss, the left took a huge win, but now how does the left continue that momentum? How does the right capitalize and try to keep their power? Like how does it maneuver, right? How does it go? Let's see here. I want to move it on to this story here. Former NFL. We're going to move into the sports world. So hold tight. But former NFL quarterback Mark Sanchez. Mark Sanchez was recently let go from his employer at Fox Sports. Let me go ahead and play this soundbite and we'll talk on the other side.
News. Mark Sanchez has just been fired from Fox Sports after a near-fatal altercation in Indianapolis. A Fox Sports spokesperson tells us, quote, "We can confirm that Mark Sanchez is no longer with the network. There will be no further comments at this time." This follows a TMZ report in early October that Sanchez was involved in a bizarre altercation where he allegedly attacked a 69-year-old delivery driver, prompting the man to stab Mark in self-defense and nearly killing him. The company recently hired Drew Brees, though it's unclear if he will take Mark's former role. Breaking news. Mark Sanchez is...
So let me go ahead and let's see here. So I'm going to read you this from the Associated Press. And as I mentioned, that was through TMZ that he had been let go as a NFL analyst from Fox Sports. And they hired the Super Bowl great Drew Brees. It says here that Sanchez has been off the air since police said he was stabbed during a fight with a truck driver outside an Indianapolis hotel on October 4th. Now, he was in Indianapolis for Fox coverage of the October 5th game between the Colts and the Las Vegas Raiders. Now, Sanchez faces a felony battery charge along with several misdemeanor charges for what prosecutors have said what a fight over parking. A fight over parking. Now, how in the world does fight over parking lead to one man nearly getting his face, reconfigured, to another guy having to stab that person that's being like, all this over parking. Was this downtown parking? Because I don't know. Sometimes downtown parking can get irate. Let me stop. Because it'd be hard when you're trying to find that parking space parking downtown. But let me stop. It says here Sanchez and Fox Sports also face a civil lawsuit filed by the driver, 69-year-old Perry Toll. Now, Brees will replace Sanchez on Fox number 4 NFL crew and will team up with the play-by-play announcer Adam Iman and sideline reporter Christina Pink. Again, to further, I'm trying to see any added. Says here, this is okay. So, police affidavit alleges that Sanchez, smelling of alcohol, a coast toll who had backed his truck into a hotel loading dock in downtown Indianapolis during that same exact night. The driver claims in his lawsuit that Sanchez entered the truck without permission, then physically blocked shoved Toll, who then doused Sanchez with pepper spray. When Sanchez advanced after being sprayed, Toll pulled a knife to defend himself. I mean, I tell you. Sanchez was then hospitalized with a stab wound to his upper right torso, and a picture of Toll circulated online showing him in a neck brace on a hospital bed covered in blood with deep lashes to his face. I mean, this is just. I mean, it's extremely sad on both sides. I mean, we'll keep you posted with this. The big question obviously will be is, hey, what's next for Sanchez? Will he have to face hard time for this? He's already lost his job, which again was quite early. That was a huge, response after just all this just being allegations, but it's not looking good in Mark Sanchez's favor. I think that's why Fox Sports had let him go. They're like, hey, look, he's not like a huge star on our network. He can easily be replaced. To avoid all the headache, we just gotta say, depart from Sanchez and find somebody, again, to take his place. So we'll keep you guys posted on that case there. Let's see. Do we want to stay in sports? I think not. Let me check here to make sure. No, we're gonna stay out of sports. Okay, so we're done with sports. Perfect. Now this, I don't know if you heard about this. JD Vance's half brother. Let me pull up the graphic for you all that are watching. But JD Vance's half brother, who recently ran for mayor of Cincinnati, his half brother's name is Corey Bowman. Corey Bowman ran for Cincinnati mayor, and you guessed it, he came up very far. Like he lost, obviously, but his loss was not like any other loss. It was like a butt whooping to the core. You see the percentage right there. He had garnered what, 2,800 votes, around 18.3%, when his opponent received 81.7%, around a little over 12,000 votes. Now, I don't know how many people is in the city of Cincinnati, but those overall numbers is extremely low for voting turnout. But his brother lost his long shot bid in the National Watch Cincinnati mayoral race, falling short against Democratic incumbent Aftab Perval. I believe that's how you pronounce it. According to the Associated Press and CNN, both declared Aftab as the winner. Crime had dominated the headlines and campaign in Southern Ohio race. Cincinnati leaders face criticism this summer after several high-profile crimes, including the stabbing of Patrick Henringer in his house and the video of a brawl in downtown that went viral. Now, Bowman and Republicans tried to paint the city as overrun with crime. Pureval countered that the city's leadership combated crime through numerous measures, including implementing a stricter curfew and recruiting more officers. Okay, which has kind of been the campaign strategy of a lot of conservative or Republican candidates, right? On the local, state level. Crime is this, crime is that. If you're, blue cities and blue states, their crime is just so high because they're just letting them run rampant, yada, yada, yada. I mean, we see it happening in Washington, where Trump is putting, military guards in cities because they're saying, hey, look, only Democrat, only blue cities like Chicago, like DC, what else? Portland. I mean, the list goes on and on. Baltimore. We hear from time and time again. You could just say, okay, current administration is not doing good, so I want to. But they're looking at they're just, Republicans are always going to say, hey, look, they don't know how to handle this, yada yada yada, and we got to do something in order to stop it, right? So, in a debate with Bowman, sponsored by the Inquirer, a USA Today network partner, Pierre, called Bowen and his supporters MAGA extremists. I think that's fair because, hey, he basically tried to build a career off of his half brother, who is the vice president. One of his first endorsers was the sitting vice president, J.D. Vance, which I'm sorry, but like, have y'all got comfortable by basically saying, hey, look, J.D. Vance is the vice president? I feel like it was just yesterday when he just became like U.S. senator, and now he's the vice president. It's just, I don't know, it just went across my head like real quick. Now, okay, let me stand correct. Okay, it says here Vance had not okay, it says here he want his half brother received endorsement from local GOP. But it said here one notable absent from Bowman's donor list was Vance. Well, obviously, I don't think he would donate anything. It says Vance did not contribute to Bowman's campaign, and he didn't get involved publicly beyond a post on social media on the primary day urging people to vote for his half brother. So you can still consider that an endorsement. Voting records show Vance, who lives and is registered to vote in Cincinnati, Ohio neighborhood East Walnut, did not vote in the primary. Interesting. Bowman has said he was not looking to his half brother for political support. When the pair talk, it's usually about Star Wars or their children. Now, he'll ask how the campaign is doing, and I'll ask him how's being vice president is. Cute, whatever. Long story short, y'all, he lost by a landslide. Again, another huge loss for the Republican Party. I don't know what else to tell you. I don't know what to say. I think people are starting to really wake up. I think people are starting to realize that folks are just tired. Now, you're probably wondering, Arrington, this whole time when you were speaking, I'm speaking. The whole time when I was speaking, I had the caption, the headline, for those who are watching, I had the headline, J.D. Vance wants his wife to convert. So I'm leading on because I had two stories to discuss that involved J.D. Vance. And so publicly, J.D. Vance had hinted he would like his wife to convert to Christianity because she is Hindu. All right. Let me see if I can. This is reported by The Guardian, and it says here that J.D. Vance is doubling down on comments he made about wanting his wife, Yusha Vance, to convert to Christianity, remarks that drew political backlash from some quarters. At an event with Turning Point USA at the University of Mississippi to honor a conservative group Slane founder, Charlie Kirk, an audience member questioned the U.S. vice president about how he sees the links between American patriotism and Christianity. So, says here, why are we making Christianity one of the major things that you have to have in common to be one of you guys? To show that I love America just as much as I do, the audience member asked, after pointing out that Vance's wife, Yusha, is a Hindu, and they are raising their children in an interfaith marriage. Now, here's my frustration. I look at it like this, and I'm a Christian myself, right? I respect all cultures. I respect all religions. We live in a society where all religion, freedom of speech, freedom of religion. So it's accepted, and it should be accepted. I had a conversation. I had a conservative on my show. This was a while back, and I said, "Look, isn't it kind of isn't it a sign of hypocrisy where the right continues to speak on freedom of this X, Y, and Z, freedom of speech, this and that and the other, and yet they're literally pushing Christianity as a promo tool, as a way to advertise their party." Because let's be honest, you see all these conservative evangelicals. I mean, they make profit off of using the Lord and using Christianity. There's folks that, there's politicians that always like faith, family, football. Like it's always, like it's time and time again, you hear these conservative candidates saying, oh, I'm just, my faith, God is one thing in America. Why can't we just have those two? And I'm not saying I'm like the ultimate religious Bible thumper, but sometimes where a person's faking and when someone's authentic. That's all I'm going to say. So that was a great question from that individual, because they're telling the truth. They're telling the truth. Vance said that his wife grew up in a Hindu household, but not a particular religious family, and noted that when he met his wife, they would have both considered themselves agnostic or atheist. Now, Vance converted to Catholicism in his 30s after being raised in a loosely evangelical family. He was baptized into the church in 2019, just as he started to become a prominent supporter of Donald Trump. Shocker. Who chose Vance as his running mate when he successfully ran for a second presidency in 2024. Now, Vance says, my views on public policy and what the optimal state should look like as pretty aligned with Catholic social teaching. Vance, a former U.S. Senator from Ohio, said at the time of his baptism, I saw a real overlap between what I would like to see and what the Catholic Church would like to see. He says our two kids go to a Christian school. Our 8-year-old just did his first communion a year ago. It basically, what I'm reading is his wife is the only one that is Hindu, and she stays in that lane, and the kids and myself are on this. It's interesting. That's all I can say. It's quite interesting how this stuff goes, but hey, it's all on brand. As I mentioned before, the right uses the Christian faith as a part of their talking point. That's a part of the conservative movement. It has been since day one. Let me look at the time. How are we looking with time? Y'all, we're going to take a commercial break, and when we come back, I'm going to talk about your girl, Megyn Kelly, and then also this case happening in Newport News, this big case happening with the former teacher who was gunned down by her own student who was 6 years old. Don't go anywhere, my friends. We'll be back. You listen to the Arrington Gavin Show.
Jazarian Learning Institute, LLC, is a hybrid learning center that strives to educate adults and children in all fields. During the day, we offer programs that are focused on developing students from pre-K to 12th grade, which includes tutoring, homeschool co-op, an after-school program, SAT, ACT prep, and many more engaging academic programs. Our adult education programs include workforce trainings, GED prep, life coaching, various seminars, and many more. Our vision is to train and educate in a positive way that will lead to a positive change in the world, one person at a time. For more information, visit us online at JazarianLearningInstitute.com or call us at 757-208-7407.
Let me tell you something that most people get wrong about suits. A suit isn't just about you wearing it. It's how you show the world who you are. It's your handshake before you say a word, your presence when you step into any room. That's why we design statements at Dapper Luke. We don't just make suits. We'll start with the fabrics that tell your story, luxurious wools, silk, linen, and blends sourced from the finest mills in Italy, the UK, and India. Then we'll combine that with your vision, your personality, and your style. Every detail is tailored to you, from the fit to the finish. Whether for your wedding, a gala, the boardroom, we specialize in creating custom suits that are unique, just like the men who wear them. We spent years perfecting this craft, apprenticing under designers in New York and showcasing collections in New York and for Baltimore Fashion Week. None of that matters as much as seeing the look on your face when you try on your custom suit. Over 900 clients have already trusted us to deliver the best custom suits. They trust me to deliver the confidence. We proudly serve Virginia Beach and Baltimore and would be honored to bring your vision to life next. Let's create something unforgettable. Book your free consultation today at www.dapperluke.com.
Order your beard care products with Rugged Evolution. We're your local beard care line that supports the maintenance of your full, mature beard. Our line includes conditioning shampoos, moisturizers, balms, oils, shaving lotions, and exfoliating soaps. These products moisturize, hydrate, nourish, and have all the natural ingredients for a healthy beard. Log on to our website or download our app to place your orders. Become a man of distinction with Rugged Evolution Beard Care. And remember,
Rugged is the new smooth.
Hey, what's happening, y'all? Welcome back to the Arrington Gavin Show. Next up on the list of stories here, Megyn Kelly, conservative talk show host, Sirius XM star. I mean, and I say that because she had grew a larger audience by being on Sirius XM. It was announced not too long ago that she would be receiving her own channel. Yes, I think it was called like the Megyn Kelly channel or something. Ugh, yeah, it brings a bad taste in my mouth too. But anyway, I'm bringing her up because she's in the public eye, trolling the Obamas, man. Which I mean, I talk about it because I think it's very comical. I think it's comical, and I love the fact that people troll the Obamas because they realize that helps them be famous. Okay, that helps grow their career. Why do I say this? Because look, we have a sitting president who grew a career in politics because he trolled Barack Obama since day one. Yes, Donald Trump trolled Obama since day one. He questioned his citizenship because, his middle name is Hussein Obama. It's not American. All right. I think we need to question his citizenship. Read the papers. Read the papers. Okay. All right. And now you see Megyn Kelly trolling Michelle Obama. I mean, I think she's very jealous of Michelle Obama. Because one thing, and I'll repeat it because I continue to share the story. I had the opportunity to be in the same room with former President Barack Obama. He was on the campaign trail, campaigning for Abigail Spanberger, who ended up winning and becoming the first female elected as governor for the state of Virginia. Barack Obama, he is loved by Republicans and Democrats and independents. All right. I don't care what y'all say. He's the most class act leader that we've ever had in our lifetime. He still does it with grace. Him and Michelle ages like fine wine, and they continue to become more and more successful. Just because, I mean, the production, the media, the books, the this, the that, the speaking engagements, they are, and even their kids are successful. So they just love to hate on successful African American. They hate witnessing Black excellence, and that's what I'm starting to notice. They hate seeing Black excellence. They're dying. They're like, something must be wrong. This can't be right. Something must be wrong. No, nothing's wrong. Nothing is wrong. Let me show you this soundbite here from Megyn Kelly while she was on her show, host of the Megyn Kelly Show. Let me play you this. Actually, hold on. Let me share the video too. That might help, right?
Allow Black women to just walk around with their natural hair. That is Black women can walk around with whatever hair they want. Only in Michelle Obama's warped mind do white people not like them unless their hair looks like white hair. She's bitter because society's standards, in her view, don't allow Black women to just walk around with their natural hair. That is Black.
Once again, I I'm gonna tell you why I'm picking on Megyn, because Megyn Kelly, every time, and this is the issue with why the world is not growing as a whole, right? As a community. Because of folks like Megyn Kelly. Megyn Kelly is basically saying that discrimination doesn't exist, that the workplace and the workplace doesn't have certain standards for females, which is funny because let me try to say here, let me try to say, wasn't Megyn Kelly involved in that huge thing that happened at Fox News where I think what's the gentleman's name, Roger Ailes, might have been, I don't know, acting inappropriately towards the female employees in Fox. Remember that? So he had a standard. Okay, he had a standard. So my question to Megyn is, Megyn, how many people have you seen on national cable outlets, or just, how many times have you seen folks rocking, you know, beautiful braids, beautiful locks, and any other? I'm like, how many times? Where have you seen them on TV? Because I only can remember one person, and it was rare when she did it, and that was Melissa. I think her name was Melissa Joan Perry, who used to be on MSNBC she was there for a short period. You can ask Oprah Winfrey herself. She even said, "Look, in order for me to be successful on television, I got to change my appearance. I got to change my hair. They're not gonna like the way my hair looks." Went to a hair salon or a hairstylist who never specialized in black hair. I mean, Megyn just continues to put out this, to go on this rant, this tour, because she looks at it as the left always bringing an excuse and saying, we're fine now, we moved on, we're not like that what it used to be back in the day and stuff. All they do is just using excuses, yada yada yada. No, they're not. They're not, Megyn. And if you can kindly do me a favor and shut up, and how about you, I don't know, do what you're doing at SiriusXM instead of trying to build a career off of criticizing somebody that does not pay you any mind whatsoever. I mean, it's really comical to me. It's comical, the fact that she a white female who doesn't have any whatsoever of the issue that goes on in the life of a black woman, is basically saying, look, I understand. I mean, come on, just really in your standards, yada yada yada. I mean, again, no one made her the one to deliver this message, okay? And perfect example, because I'm looking at one of the comments here, and I'm glad they brought it up because I was just about to kind of segue into that. The Crown Act. The Crown Act. Should I read that for you? Hold tight as I pull the Crown Act for you. So, the Crown Act, which stands for Creating a Respectful and Open World for Natural Hair. It's a legislation that prohibits discrimination based on hair texture and protective discrimination based on and protective hairstyles like braids, locks, and twists. It aims to ensure people are not denied employment or educational opportunities because of hairstyles associated with a particular race or national origin. While the federal version has not been passed, many states and cities have enacted their own versions. Again, their purpose is to end race-based hair discrimination, which is always affected in, you guessed it, y'all, in the black community. The bill was introduced in California in 2019 and has since been adopted by many other cities. Now, on the federal status level, the Crown Act of 2022 passed the House, representative, but stalled in the Senate, and a new version was reintroduced in the 119th Congress. If this was not a big deal, then why in the world did it make it so far? You see what I'm saying? Why is it that so many other cities open their minds and be like, you know what? This is a big deal. This is important because that exists. I don't know if I can. I use another example. So my business, Rugged Evolution Beard Care. That's when I first started. It started as a beard care company, right? Beard oil, beard balms, conditioner shampoos, beard washes, you name it. We've expanded to much, larger things outside of just beard oil and stuff. But the reason why I thought of that idea, because I'm like, look, we have to point out that regardless if you are a labor worker or work in corporate America, you can still be a man of distinction while rocking a well-groomed beard. Because in I'll say ancient times, but in past years, facial hair was looked upon as a laziness, right? Oh, if they have a beard, how can I take them serious as a professional, as a business professional? There is a standard, there is a look that we have to do. There's a standard that we have to. The fro, no, out of here. Locks, ugh, get out of here. Rather than judging a book by its cover, why don't you read the pages and read the fine print and realize how successful and intelligent these individuals are that have got passed on because of the hair that they rock, the hairstyles. It's sad. It's extremely sad. And again, you have folks like a Megyn Kelly who, again, she wants to be seen because she realizes, hey, it makes me money when I do stuff like this. When I make a fool out of myself, this makes me money. So why not? Again, it truly is disgusting, but shout out to former First Lady Michelle Obama. She has a new book out. I'm blanking on the name, and I didn't just blank on it because they haven't paid me to endorse it, but I really did. I'm blanking on the name, but I know it's like a fashion style book. My wife, who's a huge fan of Michelle Obama, had recently purchased it, and she has it sitting downstairs on the coffee table. As she reads different pages every day. But yeah, shout out to former First Lady and continued success for her and our former President Barack Obama. Next up, y'all, I'm looking at my time. I think this is going to be the last story here. Abby Zerner. Let me see if I can. Here we go. So I don't know if y'all heard about or if y'all remember the case that happened in Newport News, Virginia, that was heard around the world, where a elementary school teacher was gunned down by her student, a 6-year-old. Now we hear about gun shootings in schools all the time. Not all the time, but it's sad, but it's kind of like a normal thing. You hear it mostly in I'll just say high school. Usually you hear from high school or universities, right? And hold up, let me try. I misspelled her last name. I'm pulling up my notes here. Did it again. There we go. And so, geez Louise. Anyway, the case was brought up and it made headlines because, again, a 6-year-old kid, you rarely hear stories involving a 6-year-old acting as being an active shooter in a school. Now you've heard stories in the past of kids getting a hand of their parents' gun, or excuse me, not being responsible gun owners, right, and not putting them in safe places and this and the other. But this case really kind of shook up the world because there was a 6-year-old who knew the capabilities of how to hide a gun, how to control a gun, and he was already kind of a disturbed child, is what the teacher at the time was saying. She had she had acknowledged or brought it to the attention of faculty and the public school system in Newport News, and they pretty much people brushed her off. The assistant principal is in a whirlwind of trouble, obviously, because it was under her watch too, and I think verbiage, and I don't know if it was from her, but I knew within the conversation they were rumors that even some folks that said, how could he bring a gun at school? How could he fit in his little pockets? I mean, wow. Yeah, that. But in some instances, you can't. If the teacher is very, very serious, then they need to take action. Don't just ignore. Don't avoid what a teacher is trying to bring up. Especially, this girl was she was just finished school. She just became a teacher, right? This was supposed to be her golden years. I'm getting to teach little kids. I'm doing what I love, and now that turned into a nightmare for her. Let me read you this article by the Virginia Pilot, which is a newspaper company based in the Hampton Roads area. It says here that the jury in Newport News Circuit Court recently had handed $10 million to the verdict for Abby Zorner, the teacher at Rich Neck Elementary, shot by a 6-year-old student in early 2023. Now, the civil trial began in October 27th and lasted for about 7 days, with the jury deliberating for 2 hours and 3 hours the next day before rendering their verdict at the 12:30 time. It says here that they obviously was in favor and awarded the plaintiff Abigail Zorner and assess her damages at $10 million. Now, court clerk pronounced after the jury's foreman hands over the verdict form. Says here that the jury also awarded Zorner back interest for June 2. Okay, so she is receiving more, because at first I'm like, the case was for $40 million. She better not be walking out here with no 10 million out of that 40. But I'm looking at my time. I might come a little short. I might have to continue this on the next show. But the damages against Rich Neck's former assistant principal, Ebony Parker, whom Zorner accused of ignoring warnings that the 6-year-old had a gun at school. 9 jurors heard the case over the past week, with 2 randomly chosen to serve as alternative and cut from final deliberations. Final jury of 7 included 5 black and 2 white jurors. So again, a most black juror, which I think that speaks volumes too. Because most folks will say, "Oh, okay, they're just going to bring down the black." No, this was different, and I believe the child's parent was also charged with child neglect. I mean, it was sad all around. I mean, I'm happy for Abby Zorner as far as winning her case, but I think still the traumas will always be there. You were shot in close proximity by a 6-year-old. That's something that's something that can just never come across your mind. So, y'all, all I can say is this, because I'm I believe in protecting your household. I'm not too big on the gun culture as some of my friends are, but I'm big on protecting the household. But owners, if you are a gun owner, and just keep this world uplifted. That's all I can say. Y'all continue to tune into the Arrington Gavin Show weeknights, available on all digital and streaming platforms, as well as on the radio airwaves. I'm out.
That's it for tonight on the Arrington Gavin Show. Thanks for tapping in and keeping the conversation alive. Don't forget, stay connected with us on all platforms. Follow at Arrington Gavin on Instagram, Blue Sky, and X, and subscribe to the official Substack for exclusive takes and deep dives you won't get anywhere else. We're here every weeknight, same time, same energy, same real talk. Until next time, stay bold, stay sharp, and stay true. That's what we do on the Arrington Gavin Show. Peace.